The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Virtuosos podcast. I'm your host, Jules Houston.
I'm Damon Crittenden.
Damien Jolly, welcome back.
All right, guys, we've been here for about a month. Just a quick recap, we are growing. Thank you guys for all the support. If you are in the live stream right now, like, comment, and subscribe for us. That'd be greatly appreciated. We're trying to grow on every single platform, but the 100 followers on TikTok is a blessing. It's only the start. It's not really anything that we could have imagined happening so quick because it was like 2 followers a day almost, but now that we're here, we can't stop, so I keep going and looking forward. But to start us off, Damien, seen Saw X, the 10th rendition of Saw. They have spin-offs and whatnot. One of the longest running franchises, and it's funny because we make fun of like Fast and Furious making all these movies, and Saw was actually going down while Fast and Furious actually was making money.
Right.
So, from what you've seen from Saw X, how do you feel about it?
It was definitely a good movie. It felt like a good it kind of felt like a good reboot for it. You do get Jigsaw back, even though he died in the original movies. What I liked about this one was that there was actually a story being told. I felt like the first couple Saw movies did a good job with the story, and then they kind of just got to a point where they were like, how nasty could we make the movie? Mm-hmm. You know, and get away, how much can we get away with? This one told a good story. There were some elements that were kind of weird. They kind of make Jigsaw seem like a superhero, kind of.
Yeah,
like
they
a vigilante.
They sympathize.
Yeah, like, I mean, they really make it seem as if he's doing the right thing. I mean, the people that he's going after are pretty bad and kind of probably do deserve what they're getting, but that was kind of a weird twist on it. Instead of making him an actual serial killer, they were like, hey, this guy's a vigilante. He's taking care of the little man, you know. So it was weird, but it was cool to see the actual Jigsaw actor back because he was great in the role. Yeah, I love him. He did. You know, they brought back Amanda as well. There's a mid-credit scene, so they're setting up another movie from the scenes of it. So it was really good, though. I definitely think it's worth a watch, and the ratings that it got I think it got 83% on Rotten Tomatoes is well deserved.
Mm-hmm. So if out of 10, what would you give it?
I'd probably say about a 7.5, 8.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
I mean,
I'm a huge fan of the Saw series.
Yeah, like it's definitely to me like the best one that's come out probably since like 2 or 3.
Yeah, like my last like one I like really was into and I watched several times was like probably Saw 4. Saw 4 is like easily.
Yeah, so you know, cause I say like I really like once it got to like 5, 6, 7, like there was no story being told. It was so convoluted and all that. They were literally just trying to see how nasty they could get without getting in trouble, basically. Yeah. How far could you push the M rating and, you know, say the radar.
Remember, like, the heroin scene?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there was just so many, like, things, you know, that's all it really felt like with this one. Even the traps in this one, like, you know, obviously there's still a lot of gore. It's pretty gruesome, but none of it felt gratuitous, you know. Like, it didn't feel like they were just trying to shove it in your face and be like, hey, look how nasty this is. They kind of just played into the storyline more so than anything. So it was definitely worth a watch.
So that's the scene you remember, the heroin scene out of all scenes?
Yeah, the needle pit.
The needle pit's pretty memorable. The needle pit was crazy because like you literally see like it's like bulging in her skin. That shit just like had me cringe. It was a lot of shit.
I mean, it really depends on what trap you're thinking about, though. I mean, the needle pit's considered one of the more iconic ones. I mean,
it's so
she literally doesn't even get a choice. Like,
yeah, she just falls right in it.
Lifts her up and throws her in it. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, like, he literally makes her go in there to look for a key. It is pretty nasty because, like I said, as soon as she gets in there, it's literally all the needles in her arm. I mean, it's pretty gross.
So, if it was a scene for you, which one would you remember then?
I mean, not the heroin scene.
No, it's not your favorite.
Go ahead. Which one is it, bro?
I don't have a scene. I don't have another scene. It wouldn't be the heroin. It wouldn't be heroin though.
But in other news, we gotta go to the other side of the spectrum. Football. Unfortunately, there's 2 prospects that are being talked about more than Damon Crittenden out of UB. But from what we're looking at right now, Caleb Williams versus Shedeur Sanders was this past weekend. And 2 weeks ago, we talked about how big this matchup would be. It would be a lot of draft implications. All 30 scouts were there. From what you've seen out of Caleb Williams and Shedeur Sanders, like, how do you feel about either one?
I hope New England Patriots scout was there. I hope
all 30. Y'all should have 3 there though.
I hope we need to look at the receivers, the quarterback, the quarterback, coaches, all that. But you know, it's good for football. It's always good for football when you get 2, you know, high prolific teams. We all know USC was gonna win, but it is what it is, man. I mean, like
Colorado made it a game.
Yeah, they made it a game, especially at the end. That's all you can ask for, like an exciting football game.
It was definitely much more competitive than Oregon.
Yeah,
Oregon. That Oregon game was was I guess a humbling experience, but also I looked at it as it could have been more or less that both teams were. One team's come off a high, another team coming off of struggling games where they just didn't look as good, and Oregon went out there and they gave it to them, and rightfully so. I mean, Oregon is not a bad team at all. Oregon is actually filled with a lot of experienced players. As much people talk about Bo Nix being in college a long time, they never met Aaron Kraft from Ohio State, and he played basketball for like 6 years at Ohio State. I mean, that was just one of the things that I remember. Like, I never seen some of the players that got to 25 years old. Like,
Right.
like Bo Nix only 23 years old, and he took advantage of the COVID system and whatnot. So I mean, it is what it is. But for me, what I seen out of Caleb Williams was that he heard all the noise. He heard all the noise that nobody was talking about him. That he was the number one pick, but it didn't matter if he was the number one pick. He's just Caleb Williams. They know he's gonna be a number one pick. Why talk about somebody that already is that good?
Right.
Went out there through 6 touchdowns, and there was a point where he had like I think as many touchdowns as incompletions.
Yeah.
Until the end of the game where they actually started being a little bit better, and he still weathered the storm. Still did as good as anybody could against an actual team that's considered competition. So for what I've seen from Caleb Williams, that is the number one pick. It is good that Shedeur Sanders did show up, and because at first it was looking like, all right, there's levels to this. It's Caleb Williams, and then it's like the rest of the pack. So, Damian, if you had to choose Shedeur Sanders or Caleb Williams to finish better, I'm talking like in stats in terms of stock. Like, I mean, obviously Caleb Williams stock, but there's a chance he stays. Do you see Shedeur Sanders actually making that jump into the day one? Because right now he is predicted early day 2.
I think he could definitely jump into day one at some point. There's still quarterback questions in the NFL. There's a lot of teams that still have quarterback questions. The solid ones are there, but there are teams that are getting old or their quarterbacks aren't performing. So Shedeur could definitely do it. They still got a tough schedule to finish the year. These were their 2 toughest ones.
No, they got like Oregon State.
Yeah, they still got to play Oregon State. They got to play UCLA.
Yeah,
they got to play. There's a couple other ones on there that are still. I think their next game's pretty. I think they play ASU next, which is a pretty easy one. But he could definitely jump into that day one range. I don't see him after this year if he goes in the draft getting into like the top 10 or 15. But if he stays another year, I think he could. But even next year, I don't think he'd be the number one quarterback prospect.
Exactly. It's hard.
It's just like, and it's nothing against him. He's a good quarterback, and I think he could be successful at the next level. But it's just there's so many good quarterback prospects out there.
I don't think he does any one thing great. Like, I don't think he is a crazy playmaker, a super accurate guy, super fast. I mean, he's fast, but not that fast. You know what I'm saying? He's not the athlete that his dad was or nothing, but you don't need him to be an athlete. His dad was a cornerback. He's a quarterback. Right. He needs to put on 30 extra pounds and have a 6'2" kind of frame,
But I do think that if he stayed another year, he would definitely be a top 10 to 15 pick.
I think he'd be a top 3. He could be
maybe
top
3
pick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I definitely think it'd be smart for him. I think the quarterback class this year is just way too big.
Bro, and then Michael Penix is coming up too.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, between Caleb, May, Penix, KJ Jefferson out of Arkansas.
I think he might stay. You know what I'm
saying? Like, there's a lot of guys that are getting more and more hype. Bo Nix is going to end up coming out because, he's about to be at the end of his thing. So it's just really about being smart with when you're going to come out. And like I said, I don't think Caleb Williams is not going to stay at USC. I don't care who picks first overall.
Yeah. There's
too much money in the NFL to be like, oh, I'm going to go play for USC again another year.
Yeah.
No matter how much you're making in NIL. Bryce Young has got like a $40 million fully guaranteed contract. Mm-hmm. Caleb Williams can go get 10, 15 million more if he really wanted to. Yep. So I think no matter what, Caleb will end up being the first overall pick this year, and that's just going to be the end of it.
Yeah, that's definitely how I look at it too. But also with like as much like let's just say like they don't want to go to the Bears. There has been situations where John Elway, Eli Manning forced their way somewhere else, forced their way to get traded. So I can see obviously another team like wanting Caleb Williams, but I can't see the team that take Caleb Williams like, all right, we'll just swap with you like this quarterback. We'll just swap with Philip Rivers.
How do you take Caleb Williams and then be like, okay, yeah, we'll settle for Michael Penix?
Yep, well, I'll take Michael Penix. He went 17th overall. All right, well, we got to because he wants to go to that team.
Yeah, let's say like there's just at the end of the day, like
suit
back
up.
then, seriously,
suit up.
Like back then, you could get away with that, but nowadays, especially with like a prospect like Caleb, like Eli Manning or John Elway were not the prospects that Caleb Williams is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like Andrew Luck being like, yeah, well, I got picked first overall, but hear me. I want
to go to the Redskins though.
Yeah, like,
at the time, I want to go to the Redskins. Okay,
yeah,
but we're not doing you for RG3 straight up. We're not doing that.
So it's just one of those things. Like I said, Caleb Williams is too big of a name and too big of a prospect to just trade away for some other quarterback. You're not going to take Caleb Williams and then settle for Drake May.
Yeah. Next up, before we get into a more serious topic, Loki season 2 starts tonight. We're gonna do a live reaction. We're gonna be recording that tonight. We're gonna have clips up for you guys as soon as tomorrow. On the bright side, it did debut at a positive rating of 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. That is huge. That is really good for the MCU. They've been doing right by Loki so far. He's the first show to get a second season, and it's also very good that this is coming at a time where we are lacking a movie. A lot of movies got pushed back. This is the one thing that stayed consistent. This was always coming out this year. It was always coming out late, so I'm glad this is actually happening and coming to fruition. But for us, we're going to be, like I said, watching this live reaction. Something we're really, really excited about, something we've been planning on way ahead of time. So for that sake, how do you guys feel about a 73% rating for Loki? Do you think it's one of those things where maybe people expect too much, or you think somebody is saying that this is just the least to what's to come?
I think it's more like high expectations. Like this is the first season 2 of a Marvel Disney show. You probably thought, oh, we're gonna come in with more bangers. We just got Kang. You probably thought Kang was gonna have more prominent. I didn't watch the episode, but I'm assuming they thought more characters were gonna have more prominent roles and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm not really putting too much stock into it.
For you, Damien?
I don't think I'm not taking like anything seriously about a 73%. 73% is fine.
Rotten Tomatoes is like rules the world, right? Like,
yeah, I say like I've seen Rotten Tomatoes get it wrong at times too with
all the
ratings,
time.
So I mean, it's not like I'm not taking 73% as like an end all be all. I'm sure. I think it's more so not even just big expectations. It might just be a bad premiere or just like an average premiere, and it might just build up. We can get a 73% this week, then get a 92% next week. I think it's just one of those things where the premiere, maybe they don't want to throw too much on your plate.
Yeah, I'm cool with that too. Especially in 3 years. This is
yeah, so I mean, I think Loki ended in like 2021 or COVID years. So I mean, it's been a couple years. Like, I don't think they want to like throw everything back at you and be like, here, well, you got to remember all this. You know what I'm saying?
And Rotten Tomatoes rated the Flash low. Me and Dame agree that it's high, so you can't always trust.
So,
it.
yeah,
I don't agree with that.
we can't really, go by that. But into more serious matters, unfortunately, we talked about mental health real recently on the podcast, and Patriots legend, former Raiders player Chandler Jones is clearly going through something. I mean, as unfortunate as it is, nobody knows what's really going on. He's clearly dealing with a lot on his plate. I'm not sure, like I said, what happened, what's going on, but for you, Damon, player of your organization, somebody that you watched growing up, literally like one of the best DNs that you guys had in a long time before that point, it's crazy to see that like now he's getting arrested for, I guess, like, was it going to his ex-girlfriend's house and stealing and basically harassing her. This is why I say mental health is important, because nobody knows what's going on with him. I'm sure he's denying, that something is going on. He don't want to feel that something is wrong. So for you, Damon, how's like it's like something every week it felt like with him. So how do you feel about this whole Chandler Jones situation?
I mean, it's athletes. I feel like every year it's athletes that go off the rails every year, and it just reminds us like these athletes are human beings at the end of the day. Like they're gonna have days, times where they're down and they're upset. Some have disabilities, some have things that they hide or that we as an average viewer we don't care about, because football players, like a year or two ago, nobody, like, even if Chandler Jones is like going through something mentally, nobody's sitting there looking up Chandler Jones mental disabilities a year or two ago. Like he's just football players out there making plays. Like that's what the casual fan cares about. Like it's the football player.
It's once something pops up is where they're like,
now we want to help. Now that it's too late. Like now he got cut. Like he's off the rails. Now we care but it's too late. Like it's nothing we could do. So all I could do is pray that he gets help. Yeah. And hopefully this issue gets resolved.
Yeah, because as comical, I guess, as some of those moments in the video are, like, a lot of that stuff is very serious. Like, he talked about Aaron Hernandez's death and how it was a cover-up and whatnot, and that's been a thing. People been talking about that for years now, 4, 5, 6 years now, that he didn't kill himself, that the means that he went to kill himself wasn't real. That's not what happened. That wasn't what was happening. And there was no way that he could have done that because of the size of the cell, because of what he used and whatnot. Right. There's a lot going on. Even, Brandon Marshall, Chad Ochocinco, and them, they talked about it. On I Am Athlete, they said that they don't believe that. That's not the guy they knew. I'm not for, showing, hey, Aaron is actually a good guy. No, he did what he did. But if something bad did happen in that jail cell and he was hurt or somebody did something to him where he would have harmed himself, then obviously yes, it needs to be looked into. It sucks that Chandler Jones is the one to relay this message, but looking out for Chandler Jones is something else. I'm not sure who's reached out to him. I'm not sure who's trying to get him help. From what we've seen, read, whatever, it seems like nobody is. People like, where John Jones at?
John Jones.
Unfortunately, he has a life. He has a life.
life.
He has his career ahead of him. He has a big fight in a month, I think, to the day. So you can't just expect another it's your brother, but to just up and be like, all right,
stop a whole UFC camp.
Literally cancel everything I got going on. This might be a $10 million fight for him. All right, well, he could think that. Well, maybe Arthur will look after him. His other brother, maybe somebody else will look after him. I don't know what's going on with Chandler Jones. Obviously, what we see on the outside is very sad.
So before we even cut to the next thing, and I'm gonna skip over the subject because I don't know too much about the Chandler Jones stuff. Did you see the tweet that came out last night that Devontae Freeman liked?
What was it?
So he liked a tweet, and he said that Kyle Shanahan threw Super Bowl 51 against the Patriots in order to get Jimmy G as his quarterback for when he went to the 49ers as head coach. And this is a conspiracy they talked about. This was the Falcons versus the Patriots.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to say
Dan Quinn was head coach, Shanahan was offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that the reason that the Falcons lost like that is that the Shanahan, after they went up big through the game, because he wanted Jimmy G to be his quarterback because he knew the Niners were going to offer him the job.
Wow.
After the Super Bowl. It was like a whole thing on Twitter yesterday. Like Devontae Freeman, who was the starting running back for the Falcons in that Super Bowl.
And was having a game and did not touch the ball.
Yeah, after, liked it and said, liked it. And then there was like a whole big Twitter discourse about it. And now that's like the big thing is that Shanahan threw the game because he wanted Jimmy G to be his quarterback once he went to the Niners as his head coach.
Only thing I'm gonna debunk about that, and I'm pretty sure we're probably gonna say the same thing. The stupidest thing you ever could do is throw a Super Bowl. That's the stupidest thing you ever could do is throw a Super Bowl. And if you know you're gonna get the job,
and I'm sure it's just Devontae Freeman being mad.
Go win the game.
I'm sure it's Devontae Freeman just being mad because they lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But it was just an interesting thing that popped up yesterday in the sports world because it's like
it is interesting though. That is very interesting.
I say especially when a player that played for the team, I can see if like somebody like if a reporter was just like, hey, listen, I heard this, but if a player likes it, I mean, you know what I'm saying. It always just kind of brings up that discourse of like, damn, did that happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, I do think you guys both did the right thing. I think if you know you're gonna get the job and all that, there's no reason to lose the Super Bowl.
I guess I could see in a point where maybe if the Patriots didn't win 2 years before, maybe a year before,
we would have lost then,
to the Seahawks. They would have lost to the Seahawks.
Brady would have left.
If he was leaving or something like that. But that was a huge thing for the Patriots. When Jimmy G was as good as he was, I guess he only won 2 games.
He won
a game.
I think a game or two.
A game,
Jacoby Brissett played one,
yeah.
and then we played the Bills with no quarterback. Or Jacoby Brissett had this big thumb injury. They was talking about putting Edelman at quarterback, so I don't know what they seen in Jimmy G, but
yeah, I get it. I mean, if you wanted him, whatnot, but also I do remember Jimmy G not going over there until mid-season, and then he played pretty good, and then he tore his ACL, and then Jimmy G's career has never even reached that point where oh my God, he's this winning quarterback.
Right.
It sucks that if that is the case, that we got robbed of Julio Jones getting his ring after he played as good as he did. Devontae Freeman played well.
Yeah, that was Matt Ryan's MVP season.
He played insane that game, for what I remember. I mean, I think he was getting 8-9 yards a carry in the first half. He was going off. I mean, I think he even scored a touchdown. That Falcons team was really good, and it sucks that if that is the case or that stuff like that does happen, because this is what they say all the time. That you need to wait to have these interviews until after the playoffs. I mean, you can't lose. You don't want to lose a job because they're interviewing, head coach at Boston College because they want to make sure they get a coach instead of waiting for Kyle Shanahan to lose the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl
or whatever. Right.
That's actually crazy. Now that you say that, that's a lot.
It's just something like that. I feel like if you look into it, you could put connect dots on it. I'm not saying it's 100% true, but if you do the research and all that, I'm sure there's probably some even crazier evidence out there, or more conspiracy to it.
The easiest answer is to get Devontae Freeman on the podcast and just be like, what happened?
Yeah, reach out to us.
Reach out to us, and we'll give you that platform. A lot of people not listening to you, but we gonna listen to you. You know what I'm saying? But to get into the next segment, we got Start of the Week. Last week, it was a lot of cheering, a lot of cheesing around here, but to be honest with you, all our teams lost.
Lost is not a word.
I mean,
everybody's team here got decimated.
Got beat up. We all got beat up. We all looked horrible. So it's safe to say that none of our teammates.
No matter how bad you were, I was worse. I don't care. You can tell me. Like I had like a guy with like -1. I had the
Oh my
worst
God.
week. I had like the one
-1?
league. At one point, I had 40, and the other guy had like 110. I think I capped out at like it was the worst week.
I got beat by
ever.
Reno by like double.
Reno double.
I'm the Frank Reich of coaches, and
It's the Frank Reich of fantasy.
I'm so bad.
But for you, Damien, I mean, back down to earth, obviously. So I don't see no Dolphins players. But for you, who do you have for your star of the week?
Josh Allen.
I mean, right though.
No, Josh Allen. This happens every single time he plays the Dolphins. I don't know what his hate boner is for the Dolphins, but every single time he plays Miami, it is like
Grab y'all by y'all shoulders and
ram us. I swear, I don't know what it is, man. I ain't never seen him do that to the Jets or the Patriots. I mean, he did it to the Patriots that one time in the playoffs, but the Dolphins. But every single time though, I mean, he's never scored less than 30 points against the Dolphins.
Oh yeah, he gonna play. He gonna play.
He goes out and play. He plays an MVP performance no matter what. It is kind of just unbelievable. I mean, and shout out to him. He completely decimated the godfather of defense in Vic Fangio. It wasn't even a close game. Once Miami sputtered on that first offensive drive, it was a wrap.
Yeah,
we were playing catch up after that.
For you, Damon, I mean, obviously you're not gonna be no Patriots players. Have literally one of the worst possible weeks you could have. Not to keep piling on you. You scored 0 in the pro last night. But so to cap off, to just end the bad week right there, who is your star of the week?
I'm gonna go Jerry Jones. Thank you for exposing them frauds, man. Them frauds. The wide receivers can't get open. The quarterback can't make a read. The running backs can't run. The O-line can't block. The cornerbacks can't cover. The safeties can't tackle. The linebackers can't tackle. The D-line can't get sacks. Thank you for exposing them frauds. I appreciate you. I'm not even going to, oh my goodness. I just want to say here at the Virtuosos, we don't promote hate speech. But what I was saying Sunday at around 6:30, 7 o'clock p.m. would have been canceled. That second quarter was the worst quarter I ever experienced as a Patriots fan. I seen my quarterback throw 8 missed throws in a row. 7 of them could have been picked off in a row. So I'm going to give my star of the week to Jerry Jones. Thank you for making just a decent team to beat my team by 35 points. Just a decent team. You ain't even have to go get, you ain't have to have Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb.
Right, they didn't do nothing.
They didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing. So, I appreciate you for exposing them.
I remember looking up I was at work and I remember looking up at the TV. Man, it was like right after, it was like around probably at the same time you said, like 6:30. And I was like, yo, what's going on over there? It was like 16-3, and I'm like, all of a sudden it was like 31-3. I was like,
it happened so fast. Like I was literally driving home,
and then I looked up again. I was like, all right, like it's whatever. And I looked up again, Mac Jones was on the bench. I was like, yo, what is going on?
Bro, oh my goodness. Like Gonzalez got hurt. I'm like, okay, he walked off. I'm like, all right, 30-yard touchdown to CeeDee Lamb. I was like, oh, I've literally cussed in front of my mom 2 times. Sunday was the second time.
Yeah, but you got J.C. Jackson though.
JC
Jackson. If he, you know what, I ain't even about to.
He led the league in picks for those 2 years, bro.
He did.
Yeah,
everybody come back to New England though, so Brady.
There's actually like a whole list about that.
Yeah, Jamie Collins, Trey Flowers.
There was one other one. It was J.C. Jackson, Trey Flowers, Jamie
Kyle
Collins,
Van Noy.
Kyle Van Noy. Yeah, they all go get big contracts and then come right back to the Patriots.
They called him Fat Patricia.
Fat Patricia.
Everybody. Josh McDaniels came back. I mean, literally everybody comes back.
Brady.
Excuse me. For my start of the week, it sucks that Damien picked Josh Allen because I'm going to the guy he threw to, Stephon Diggs. I mean, that touchdown that he had, I don't know why. It felt like that was the longest touchdown Stephon Diggs has had since the Minnesota Miracle. Like, literally, like I have not seen him have a 20-yard touchdown.
When I saw that happen, man, I literally didn't even want to watch the game no more because how do you have him wrapped up and then your own safety tackles you?
But your safety came in so hot and just
leveled the corner.
He tripped over that man, knee in his back, fell over him. Probably was like, "Yo, why don't you tackle him? Yo, why don't you tackle him?"
And then also, all I have to watch is Stephon Diggs run a 63-yard touchdown or whatever to the house. Like nobody ever even came close to him after that. I mean, Stephon Diggs just did us filthy. But what makes me mad about that is that not that Xavier Howard has ever really slowed down Stephon Diggs, but at least he's like stopped it a little bit. Yeah. Stephon Diggs has never done that to us.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns
but
on 6
120 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Day.
So I'm saying, I was like, but Xavier Howard didn't cover him one time the whole game.
Yeah.
Like the Vic Fangio defense had me so mad this week. If your best corner can't shadow their best wide receiver all game, there's an issue.
Yeah.
It's just I see why you gave him the start of the week though, because
I
the Stone Cold celebration.
Because Mike was like, Stephon Diggs got me wrecked. I'm like, what's he talking about? Man is probably gassing the out route for 8 yards. and then I see him and he's literally turned this way, like he's turned like facing like another whole other sideline. Next thing you know, he's like running the field, arms is out, like. I'm like, that's like I said, longest Stephon Diggs I've seen since the.
That was gonna be my start of the week until like 4:29 p.m.
Would have had all Bills. I would have never aired this out ever.
Yeah, I have no reason. I mean, the Stone Cold celebration too. He went and stole the beers out the stands. And, like, it was just
they were
stunting.
so dope, they were stunting on y'all.
No, dude. Yo, there was literally like a video in the fourth quarter. The security guards at Highmark Stadium were literally dancing. Yeah. Like they were literally killing us. Like the Bills fans and the Bills players were having a blast.
Yeah, y'all going. My team.
That reminded me of that game with the Jets on Thursday Night Football. Like that's like the last time I see the team did. Like Jamal Adams, like he dancing. I think it was like 6 at that point. They danced.
We literally just got dominated. Like the Bills did nothing wrong that day. Like everything that could have went perfect for the Bills went absolutely perfect.
Yeah, this ain't getting out. So my team's on a bye this week. Unfortunately, we did lose number 4 last week. He had a shoulder injury that I didn't hear anything about until Saturday. Yeah, don't know how that happened.
And then the Njoku burned his face.
And then find out Njoku burned his face. Like, what else could go wrong? I mean, obviously, we can't win 2 in a row. It's like a curse for Deshaun Watson to lead a team to win 2 in a row at this point.
I did see reports saying that he chose to sit out Sunday.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't blame him because the bye week is coming up, and a lot of teams need to start realizing when the bye week is coming up, you need to sit out. Austin Eckler, he did that. Kenny Pickett needs to do that because he's awful. And if you go out there and lose again, you're probably going to lose your job because the bye week is you trying to actually get a quarterback in there for first team reps.
I really don't. The Pittsburgh situation really is just so weird because I don't even think it's anything to do with the players at this point.
We know who it is. We know who it is.
Yeah, I don't even have to say it because everybody knows
the worst coordinator in football ever.
History. Like, it is like
Canada.
actually unbelievable.
Did
you see the Twitter stuff about that? Or
yeah,
like they looked it up. He had a burner with his own with his work.
Shit is M *** at Steelers.com.
Yeah, like all right, bro.
Definitely not Deontay Johnson
right.
for sure.
Is that Pat Fryermuth's burner?
It was like Texans are a juggernaut. He was like, Matt Canada's not the one over there turning the ball. I was like, y'all make it so obvious that I got burners. Like, tweet some random shit. Like, I just had dinner.
Yo, right.
I love
spaghetti.
My family.
Spaghetti, my favorite food.
I'm having fun today. Something.
When you only talk about the football and your job,
nigga on the search bar like Knuckles is about a 2-hour job. Matt Canada, and then just go off. Like, reply to everything.
Nah, I mean the one was like the play was designed for wide open, but Kenny Pickett didn't take it. Like, all right.
And it's funny. It was like he ran the same play on like 3rd and 20. He ran on 4th and 1.
Yeah, man.
He's not a real
Pittsburgh
coach,
and purgatory on offense.
Yep, and that brings us almost not to the next one. We got to predict your team scores actually. So the Dolphins playing
the Giants
this week. Skipping you. Patriots, who y'all playing this week?
Saints.
Skipping you too. That's about to be a 6-3 game.
All right, go ahead, Dave, man. Go ahead.
I'm thinking 31-13 this week. I'll give the Giants their first half touchdown this week because Miami's defense is weak.
Yeah.
Miami's defense showed me nothing. If we can't get a pass rush on Daniel Jones this week, trade Bradley Chubb, cut Jalen Phillips. I want Andrew Van Ginkel on both sides of the rush him both sides. It don't matter because our pass rush was non-existent against Josh Allen. It's been non-existent most of the year.
Yeah.
So if we can't get pressure on Daniel Jones this week, I don't know what to do about Miami's defense at that rate. But I'm thinking like 31-13.
For you, Damon, probably not going over 10 points. I'm assuming for either side. Derek Carr versus New England really not historically great. And he's come off an injury, so this might be the worst game.
We'll destroy a mid quarterback. It's just, anybody top 10. It's just it's tough with Judon and Gonzalez being out. This is the worst part because we got a stretch. We got I think Raiders. We got Saints and Raiders. Like we win these next 2, we would have been 3-3. But losing them 2, man. I got this game.
I think
Gonzalez is out for the season. Judon's out for 2 months, but they probably gonna
they're probably gonna shut him down.
Yeah. So I'll probably say this game gonna be 13,
Shit,
16.
Who plays behind him then? I know you still got.
Keon White. Everybody, put y'all stock in Keon White.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you drafted him
Keon
this year.
Because they took Gonzalez Defense Rookie of the Year, so now I gotta push Keon White.
You gotta push him.
Christian Gonzalez get comeback player of the year next year. Bro.
Yeah, fourth game, man. I can't wait for that week 1. His 4th game of his career.
You want to hear a funny stat that I just saw this week too? You know this is Tua's first week 5 game of his career. He's never played in a week 5. Ever.
So he suck in week 5.
Yeah.
No.
It's
That's
his first It's his first week 5
Giants
game
money line.
ever. Because his rookie season he didn't play till like week 9.
Yeah.
And then he was hurt. And then in the second year he was hurt with a broken finger. Yeah. 3rd year concussion.
Wow.
So this is his first ever week 5 game.
Brother never played in October. But when we was talking about the purgatory thing, that leads to our next segment. Like I love the would you rather's because you really get like a gauge and you like get a little quick thought in there. One of the worst franchises in the league right now. It's not the Steelers because they actually got a history of like good play and they're gonna bounce back. It's only been like 3-4 years. But on the other hand, we got the Bears. I mean, this team has not won a game since. What was it? It was the they said, yeah, that was the last time. But it was like a certain thing happened.
They've lost like 19 in a row.
It was like surely you won since this happened. It was like past on like
I saw it
like
the other day. It was like they've lost 19 straight games or something.
Yeah.
No, like maybe 14. It's somewhere like in the mid.
I want to say it's 19.
Digits. Yeah,
there
was like a big event that happened and they just have not won.
It was like surely you won since then. It was like all the teams circle and it was like yes. And it was like no.
I'm about to look that up. Actually.
Dude, it's like so many things have happened since the Bears last won a game. I mean, obviously it was against y'all, but for the Bears, they right now they own the top 2 picks, and that's because the Panthers are right next to them as well.
They haven't won a game since October of 2022.
That's insane.
October 24th, 2022.
Yeah,
and that was the team's last victory came when they stunned the New England Patriots on Monday Night Football. Oh, I remember that game.
They was tearing
that was when Mac Jones.
Mac Jones got benched.
Mac Jones threw that ball and it hit the wire.
Yes.
Bailey Zack came and threw a touchdown. I'm like, whoa, we about to turn up. We ain't scored another point.
Yeah, that's literally what happened. I'm pretty sure. But for right now, like I said, the Bears on the top 2 picks. That's looking like Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison. Anything could change. Injuries happen. People stay in school, as we were talking about earlier. So would you rather Bears edition? Now, what I'm saying is, would you rather be a GM of the Bears or the team I say? Now, this could be short-sighted. It could be long-term. It could be market. It could be cap space. I mean, also, every team's cap space. Some teams are coming off some huge contracts, quarterbacks leaving and whatnot. So to start us off, would you rather be the GM of the Bears or GM or the Jags?
The Bears.
I'm gonna go Bears.
If I'm the GM of the Bears, I'm firing Matt Eberflus. If the Bears lose this week, they're gonna fire Matt Eberflus.
Man, through 5 games, yeah.
I think they have to.
He was there
bad.
last year, right? Huh? Am I tweaking? He was there last year.
He just got there last year.
Okay.
But I mean, you lost 14 straight games, that coach. I could just see where they're not playing a bad team. They're playing the Commanders this week. I mean, they're not.
I got the Commanders blowing them out.
Yeah. So or they're playing tonight, I should say. Yeah. So I don't see the point of hanging on to him at this rate. Mm-hmm. They went and got Luke Getsy, which was like the first guy to come out of the LaFleur tree in Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Clearly not working out.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is coming off his best game of the season, but I don't know. I mean, he was also against a historically bad defense in Denver.
Yep.
So I mean, I think right now, as you got to pick the Bears, just because, like I said, you come in, you could really build that team up yourself.
Yeah.
And just go from there.
And you got some.
You got the capital. So you got young defensive players still. You still got some pieces. You got DJ Moore. You got 2 first-round picks. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could really do a lot.
I guess I'll say why I go Bears over like Jaguars. Why I wouldn't go Jaguars in here. Trevor Lawrence.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, let's actually look at the evidence here. Trevor Lawrence is not looking like a good quarterback. Simple as that. He does not look like a good quarterback right now. He's number 1 pick, and he is getting bailed out by the fact that every other quarterback in his class has been god awful. That's the only reason he's getting by.
Zach Wilson's good.
And it was funny because I seen this Would You Rather on, it was like Pick a Side, the podcast. And they're talking about, would you pick Caleb Williams over these quarterbacks? And then they said, it was like Caleb Williams, Jalen Hurts. They was like, oh, everybody said Caleb Williams. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm not taking him over.
Are you talking about that podcast?
Yeah, and then they said Trevor Lawrence like, this is hard. No, it's not.
Yeah, they said when you take
Trevor Lawrence is not that good.
They said they were taking Caleb Williams over like
Hurts,
Tua,
Jalen
Hurts.
My God, like all the people that are better than Trevor Lawrence have a better future than Trevor Lawrence, and they picking Trevor like, oh, it's hard. Like, no, it's not hard. The only thing he has is height.
Yeah, I don't know. Trevor Lawrence is like an interesting one because he did play really good down last year, and he's got the weapons. I don't know who their offensive coordinator is, or like I don't know if Peterson calls the plays or not. But their offense just looks really.
He runs the same offense.
But their offense just looks so stale compared to last year. Like
because it's Peterson.
Yeah,
He has all these like decent plays, and he grinds people out, and he does a lot of play action stuff and whatnot. But realistically, this is not the team to do that. You don't have that powerful runner where ETN is running good. He's having 18, 19 carries.
I like
but for
ETN's
70
play.
yards, no, used to be a home run hitter.
Yeah.
He has not hit a home run since college. And he tore his ACL at some point too, so you got to think that like obviously got to be eased in. No, this dude actually had good stretches last year, and now this year it doesn't. It just looks like he's just running to get 3 yards. That's literally what Doug Peterson's offense is: run to get 3 yards, play action to get 5, run another 2, and then first down. Hold the ball longer than the next team. So I mean, looking at the Jags, I 100% agree with y'all. They have all these weapons, and they still have yet to take off. And they had the number 1 pick 2 years ago, still not taking off. Trayvon Walker still has not taken off.
Yeah, I know they got to be kicking themselves with the whole missing out on Aiden Hutchinson.
They're the stupidest team ever. Like, why do you not take Aiden Hutchinson? Why do you take a guy that has potential?
I feel like they
a guy that's going to be generational.
They say they went for potential and athleticism instead of just picking the guy that probably should have been the consensus.
That could have won fucking Heisman as a
I
defensive
could run
end.
and jump fast. Like
That's what I'm saying. I know a lot of people that's 250 pounds and probably could bend real low and get to the pass rusher. The passer one time out of 7 games.
Yeah, I mean, really, what's scary for the Jags too is that the other teams in their division aren't as bad as they thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
Dude, the Colts look
really
great.
That's really the thing that's the worst for the Jags. Is like I could see if like the Colts were off to a bad start, if the Texans were off to a bad start.
That's why I love their
even the Titans are winning a couple games. Like I was like,
I think everybody's 2-2.
Yeah.
I think the whole
So it's like at that point, and now the Jags have probably the toughest matchup this week. They got to play the Bills.
Oh my God, they do.
Yeah. So I mean, they probably have the toughest matchup this week. So automatically, I think Houston plays Atlanta, and then
I think
I don't know who the Colts play. But
Colts definitely got me lost right now. I know the Colts and the
and Jonathan Taylor practiced full time.
It seems like he want to come
Colton's
back.
got the Titans.
Okay, yeah, I know it's a divisional matchup.
Oh, okay, so a divisional matchup, and like I said, and the Colts are about to get Jonathan Taylor back. He literally was talking to reporters today saying that he
feels great. Yep.
So I mean, the Colts that's just another big boost for the Colts, who have already ran the ball well with Zach Moss.
Yeah.
So that's really the toughest thing. And then when you kind of look and you flip flop over to the Bears, I mean, the Bears division isn't all that great right now.
Yeah,
either.
the Lions are running the division. Packers are it.
They say the
Vikings
Packers are on
awful.
and then they're off, and the Vikings aren't doing anything. So it's like the Bears, if they did a little bit better, they should be in that race for the top.
They should be at the top with the Lions. Like it should just be a complete flip of last year. Like that's all it should be. But next team, the Cardinals, another team that owns 2.
But wait, actually, before I don't mean to cut you off. So if you are the Bears GM and you have 2 top 3 picks, do you say you take Caleb Williams, but do you go with Marvin Harrison, or do you go with the dude from Penn State, like the top
left tackle?
Like do you secure Caleb Williams' offensive line? They took a right tackle this year, and he's looked good, Darnell Wright.
Yeah, that's all I'm about to say.
And then you take a tackle, like then you really bolster that offensive line, or do you go out and you get Marvin Harrison? You're like, okay, Marvin Harrison, DJ Moore, Darnell.
Let me tell you what I really would do. Like if I was the Bears, what I really would do, I'll take Caleb Williams no matter what. Number 1, I would. You literally have so much capital at that point. The second overall pick does not need to be used on Marvin Harrison. It's not used on the left tackle. It could be used any way you want it to be used. You could trade down. Somebody else is going to want Drake May. Somebody else is going to want to jump to take Drake May, or Marvin Harrison, or that left tackle. You trade that second overall pick immediately. Whoever takes it, then you get more draft capital, and then you trade Justin Fields to whoever the highest bidder is at that point. Then you still have draft capital in case. All right, let's say Caleb Williams needs a wide receiver. All right, I'll trade our second round pick. That's probably pretty early for a veteran, Devontae Adams, for a veteran that wants to leave. Maybe Stephon Diggs.
That's what the Panthers are trying
to
to do right now. They're trying to package.
Trying to get Marquise Brown.
I saw Marquise Brown and I saw T. Higgins. They said that the Bengals have no interest in trading T. Higgins because the Panthers don't have a first round pick.
Yeah, makes sense.
The Marquise Brown, I guess they said that it's not a horrible. They're not asking a horrible amount, but it's not going to be easy either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to have to give up some stuff, which the Panthers are already lacking in capital as it is.
So right off the Marquise Brown stuff, Bears or Cardinals? Would you rather be a GM? Like I said, they both own 2 first-round picks. Cardinals looking really impressive this year. Like I said, Bears are not. So I think the Cardinals might be a little bit easier to fix. Only issue is they'll never catch the 49ers in the next 2-3 years. So you got to you got a juggernaut.
Yeah.
Probably still take the Bears.
Yeah,
I'm
probably
taking
that division.
top two
That
picks are
division.
crazy.
Yeah, cause
And you gotta think the Seahawks still got young talent on
Oh my
their
God,
on their
that's-
defense.
you got two juggernauts at this
And you
point.
got-
Actually,
yeah.
see, like even the Rams could rebuild pretty fast. They're getting all their picks back.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams aren't like at that same point anymore where they got a 6th-round pick and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, eventually, their capital is going to come back to them, and they still got players they could move if they wanted to get capital back.
So
The Cardinals is tough. Like I said, outside of just the fact the division is tough, you also got to think like the Cardinals. Is
they
there
don't
many,
have any foundational.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
no,
really what I'm thinking of. Is like, okay, yeah, like I get they're being coached while they're winning games and they're being
They got that fire in their gut.
and they're being exactly. You know, they took the bus to work and they're being competitive, but it's
Who
just
took the bus? Show of hands. Who took the bus?
like yeah, you're talking to a bunch of NFL players.
James Conner's looking at him like, dude, shut your ass up.
But that's definitely where it lies at. You know, and the Cardinals probably can end up having 2 top 10 picks. Really, I mean, it
Yeah,
depends.
which is still really, really good.
Which is good, but then it really just depends on what you want. Like they're not going to end up with Caleb Williams now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like, do
they're
you
out
think-
of they're out of it.
Yeah, do you end up staying with Kyler? You owe him so much money as it is. You probably just end up sticking with Kyler.
At this point, I do think they do. Stick with
I think they go like Kyler. They take like another tackle and just say, "Hey, listen, Kyler, don't get hit anymore."
Yeah.
But they already have to though. You got Paris Johnson. You got DJ Humphries.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's like, I don't know
I
what
think DJ Humphries could be moved in, but that's the trade off with the Cardinals. Is like the things that they need is just not in this draft, and
Yeah.
like I mean, the deal that they got originally for the
I think
Anderson
they
trade was
automatically
smart.
take a wide receiver though. I think
Yeah,
like,
that's
whoever
what
the
I'm saying.
best
Like,
available is outside of
taking
Marvin
Mika
Harrison.
Ibuka, I think
That's what I was
really
gonna say. I
good.
think like if Marvin Harrison doesn't get to them, or if they, because I mean, like I said, the Bears aren't guaranteed to take both. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, if they could get Marvin Harrison, obviously that'd be huge.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they take the best wide receiver available after that point, and then just see what else they could do. They need some defensive
pieces,
players.
Somebody out
anything,
there.
They need
some
someone-
identity, anything. Because
Like-
I know Buda Baker is going to be off that team,
Amika
so
and
he's
Kool Aid
like-
McKinstry. Come on.
That's what they really need, realistically. So, Damon, for you could kick us off with this one. We just mentioned them. Would you rather be GM for the Bears or be GM for the Rams?
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go Bears again. I'm gonna go now. Rams I would pick, but Cooper Kupp is 31. Aaron Donald is old. Like,
Yeah.
Once they're gone, you have no. I mean, you got the new rookie that's coming up, but on the defensive end,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got to build a whole new defense, and
Yeah,
you got to go get your
gotta-
quarterback.
replacing one of the greatest players of all time. I mean, you know, obviously firsthand,
Yeah.
it's impossible. You're not gonna do it.
You got to build a whole new defense. Then you got to Matt Stafford is getting older. He's having injury problems. You got to go get your quarterback, and then you got to fill out the rest of your team. And every team has windows. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so you get your quarterback. Now you got to fill your defense in quick by his 4th, 5th year option. Otherwise, you have to pay him. So
Yeah.
I think really what sets apart. I think I would pick the Rams, but really I think it depends on if I'm getting that commitment from Sean McVay.
You feel me? That's where I look at it. Market, Sean McVay, the GM just
people-
drafts decent.
Being
you
in
know?
LA is automatically going to draw people.
Exactly.
No matter what, you're in a big market. People want to play for a big market. So I'm not really worried about building the team out. Nobody's telling you to go get 3 superstars back. I mean, you could fill out a roster with average guys and then get the big guys after the
Yeah.
fact. You know what I'm saying? I like the Rams, and I said if Sean McVay is going to be there, you're talking about a top coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
So no matter what, Sean McVay gets the most out of his players, especially on offense. I would probably take the Rams because the Bears are going to have to go ahead and go into another head coach search.
Yeah.
And that's really where it's tough for me, where it's like, you know, they did all this stuff the last couple of years to get Eberflus what he wanted, and it didn't work out.
But
So now you're
I've
stuck.
been saying this for the longest. The team that takes Caleb Williams has a really, really good chance of getting Lincoln Riley. Realistically, you have a really, really good chance of taking Lincoln Riley and bringing him to the NFL. This is your best chance. He already followed Caleb Williams once. What's stopping him from doing it again? He clearly loves this kid. Wants to coach him from the start of his career, literally to the end. He put him in with no hesitation at Oklahoma. Went with him to USC. It's a match made in heaven. They really work really, really well together. Only issue is with Caleb Williams going to Chicago. I do not want that man to be playing in no damn Chicago.
Yeah.
I just don't. It just does not. It's probably not gonna look right. It's gonna look actually awful. I'm praying to God it's something.
He's going to play in a cold weather environment. I mean,
Yeah.
Oklahoma, I guess, gets pretty cold.
Yeah, but to move on to the next team. I mean, this team is like taking the lead by storm because everybody loves C.J. Stroud. Would you rather be GM of the Bears or rather be GM of the Texans?
Definitely the Texans.
Texans.
I like DeMeco Ryans. I like C.J.
I
Stroud.
love DeMeco Ryans.
Dude,
man.
DeMeco Ryans has that defense who has not many big name players on it,
nobody.
by the way. I mean, You what? Jalen Petrie and Stingley.
Yeah.
That's like their
I think
two
Stingley
names.
just got hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So.
but that defense plays well. I mean, he's got them very well coached, which a lot of people expected. Obviously, he was the Niners defensive coordinator for a couple years, and it just shows you once again, like I said, that the Niners produce good coaches. I mean, this is another hit for them if D'Amico Ryan stays the course. And like I said, you got Stroud. They got the wide receiver room looks a lot better than what they thought.
That boy
Nico Collins
is playing.
You know,
insane.
Tank Dell has shown a little bit with the limited snaps he's gotten. Robert Woods has even been okay.
Robert Woods is a
You know what I'm
perfect
saying?
veteran.
So I mean, if John Mechie could develop, I mean, John Mechie was considered a good wide receiver when he came out of Bama. If they could work him into the offense, I mean, obviously they still need a star. I mean, you can't run with these guys forever.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem for Houston right now is that offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, Stroud has played
And
good
he's
behind
playing
it,
good behind it. So once
but
they get healthy,
they just keep getting hurt. I mean, like they traded for I think Kendrick Green from the Steelers. He just tore his meniscus. They traded for then like their Kenyon Green, who they took in like the first round last year, like torn ACL.
Yeah,
Laramie Tunsil's been out. Juice Scruggs, who was their rookie center, got hurt. Yeah. I mean, their offensive line cannot catch a break. Everywhere else they're playing healthy. The offensive line, but it just hasn't shown anything on Stroud. He's played really well behind it, which for a rookie to play well behind a bad offensive line
it tells you everything.
Because Desmond Ritter has a top 5 offensive line,
he cannot,
and he couldn't hit he couldn't hit a receiver 10 yards downfield.
Literally cannot find one. So for you, Damon, how you feel about Texans or Bears?
All right, I'm going Texans. It's like they have like I don't want to say such like little, and they're doing a lot out of it, but. I mean, you look at their division. Everybody thought they were going to be last in their division. I mean, it's still a possibility
they thought they made the worst trade ever. They thought a team that's building a team right now, trading their first round pick for next year. Everybody thought that was a horrible.
How's Will Anderson been? Does anybody know Will Anderson's stats?
No.
I'm about to look it up.
I don't think he's been doing too great. Yeah. But the fact that they got at least a talent.
I still think. I mean, it's still early. I'm not worried about it.
It's always good to have.
I mean, you see how like edges. Like,
I was a Tyree Wilson guy though too.
Like, so, I don't know, but I think Will Anderson will probably come around. CJ Stroud's doing his thing, especially after having a terrible preseason. So
I traded him after that pick.
The way their division is looking, like I don't know who's going to win that division. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, dude, it's the most even division.
Be them. Like it could be them.
So. I mean, it's not horrible. He's got 15 tackles and a sack so far. That's not bad.
Yeah, but like I was saying, like I was a Tyree Wilson guy, and he got fucking pancake by Keenan Allen.
Right.
So I don't know if I should say too much about who I would have preferred for the Texans at that point.
So I got one more franchise. Do you have any more?
I had one more, but I know who y'all gonna pick, so I feel like you should.
So this is the interesting one: the Giants. Giants or Bears, and I'm gonna tell you, and this is the reason I bring it up. The Giants, since that boat pick with Sterling Shepard and Odell Beckham and all those guys right before they played Green Bay in the wild card, 22-59 since that picture was taken.
I'm going Bears. I think the Giants are like low key and.
And now you got to think it's
I was about to say the same thing.
And now you're tied with you signed Barkley to a 1-year deal. He's hurt. You signed Daniel Jones to a 5-year, $145 million deal. I think that's what it was, or maybe it was 4-year, $145 million. So you're paying him a lot of money.
35 a year.
Your draft cap. I mean, you're trying to compete. I mean, you made the playoffs last year, so you're not going to just sit there and lose. Then you also have no weapons. You signed Darren Waller to be your number 1 wide receiver, 31 years old. And their wide receivers, Wan'Dale Robinson looks like their best one. He's coming off an ACL.
And I love Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah, so do I. I love Wan'Dale, and I think Jalen Hyatt should be getting more playing time at that rate because at least do something with him. And you know, you're trying to force out Isaiah Hodgins and Sterling Shepard and all these other guys. And Darius Slayton. Nothing's working on that offense right now.
Yeah, they're in one of the worst spots.
And Matt Breida coming back is not going to, or not Matt Breida. If Saquon Barkley coming back is not going to save you because their offensive line's not playing any well either. Evan Neal was the 7th overall pick last year. And they have a video of him blocking. He
don't even know
Darren
who
Waller.
to block. He don't even know who to block.
Yeah, they have a video of him blocking Darren Waller, and he flipped out on the New York media yesterday saying they were wishy-washy fans and they shouldn't, root against the Giants when they lose and then root for them when they win.
Yeah.
Andrew Thomas has been hurt. Andrew Thomas is actually a really great left tackle. He's one of the
he
best
just got
in the league.
re-signed. I think he's got an extension and everything.
So it's like, the Giants are in a really bad spot, and I feel more so for Brian Dable than anything, because most coaches get one chance to be a head coach in the NFL, and if the Giants keep going down the road, they're out there going right now, Dable's gonna lose his job at some point. Yeah, because what do you do now? Dable should have got the choice to get a new quarterback, and they kind of just said, "Hey, listen, no, you're gonna take Daniel Jones. You're gonna like it."
Yeah. My only thing with that, I can make an argument for the Giants, and it's not off market because you can say, "Oh my God, New York market, you got the worst turf in the league, so nobody really wants to come play for you." Their issue is that they were so content with being 10-7,
9-7. No, yeah,
I said,
no,
Tennessee.
yeah.
It was 9-8. Actually.
No, yeah, I was gonna say, I know they did
because they
one
lost
time.
the last game, and I think they were like 9-7. But they clinched off that Washington win. Remember, because Washington was like, well, we know we had playoff implications. But to backdoor off that, I mean, Daniel Jones, I'm not blaming him. Saquon Barkley, he's hurt a lot, but not blaming him. This shows that how are you so content, and you're losing to the Eagles and the Cowboys by like a margin of like 60, 70 points a year. You lose to them by double digits every single time you go out. There's no way I could go out there and be like, all right, we beat the Vikings. Hey, let's go. We made it to a divisional round, and then go out there and play that bad in the divisional round. You wasted your time. Why even make the playoffs at that point? Why even go out there and make the playoffs? Because this not only did you not make the playoffs, but you passed on all those great wide receivers in the first round. You passed on the Jordan Addisons. You passed on trading to get T. Higgins, even though the Bengals didn't want to. I'm putting that pressure on them. Do you want this first round pick or not? Mm-hmm. Same thing with DJ Moore. Why are you guys not going hard for DJ Moore? Why are the Bears going harder than y'all to get DJ Moore? You just re-signed your quarterback for $140 million. There's no way I'm going to sit there and be like, okay, Isaiah Hodgins, Paris Campbell, Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, Jalen Hyatt, go out there and have fun. No, I'm not doing that. The NFC is weak. This is the time to capitalize.
And that's really where like I said, what aggravates me is like Darren Waller. I do like Darren Waller, but asking a 31-year-old tight end to go out there and be your number one target is just not smart, especially when your other wide receivers put in no work. Wandale's a great slot guy. Like that's where Wandale's gonna stay at because he's like 5'8".
Yeah, 5'8", like 170.
Yeah, so I'm saying like he's a small wide receiver, so you can't play him outside. And then like I said, you draft Jalen Hyatt in the third round to be like your speed guy, but he ain't even playing. Mm-hmm. You're not getting no snaps. You're putting Darius Slayton and Sterling Shepard on the field.
They gave him 13 though.
Yeah, real cool. Yeah, I guess. But it's just like I said, the Giants are in a weird spot. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. The Bears, I guess, between the Bears and the Giants.
Bears.
Because at least the Bears have some creative freedom.
Yeah, they got some. They have a chance to bring a new coach, new quarterback, and the greatest quarterback.
And they already got weapons, or at least decent weapons.
Yeah. With that being said, that wraps up our NFL talk. Real quick, we're gonna gloss over the GenV debut. First 3 episodes dropped. Damon, you were huge on this. You talked about this a lot. So far, what do you feel like What do you feel like we're looking forward to?
Oh, man, I don't even know where to begin. That first episode was unbelievable.
Best pilot I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. I thought the boys' pilot was perfect, but until I saw GenV's, GenV, I think outdid it. You get the shock factor in the first 10 minutes, and then it's this world building for that whole 30 minutes, and then it ends once again on a giant, shock factor moment. I think this is really going to tie in a lot more to the boys than I even thought initially.
Bro, I was like, all right, this is not.
I thought it was going to be more
huge,
reference, you know what I'm saying? But
it's gonna be,
you automatically have like this teacher who had gotten people into the 7. He trained A-Train, he trained Queen Maeve and all that. He trained the Deep, and then he was training Golden Boy, who was like literally like the Human Torch. To be a part of it. He was already a part of the 7. They already paid for his suit and all that, which they mentioned that in the second one where they got to burn all his merch now and all that.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely going to be a lot of like conspiracy stuff. Obviously, if you watch the last episode, you see they get into the woods that they mentioned multiple times. And I think that's going to play into more so, they show little bits of that, or maybe that's like where Homelander came up at. What I'm saying? Homelander was made in a lab. Did they just raise him in the woods after? He wasn't raised in a normal home or anything like that. Yeah. And it's cool to kind of just see more and more stuff, like say with his brother Sam, the reactions to finding out that your parents sold you out basically to make you a hero.
Yeah,
your parents
like people don't take that the same way.
Yeah, like you might have got really cool powers, but in some cases it might have just really messed somebody up more so than it helped them. And I think it was just more of a grief thing. I don't think they were like anything beforehand.
For me, you know what I was saying. I don't trust her. I don't trust her at all. If you have any mind control powers, I'm not being good. I'm not being good at all. I'm not doing for the greater good. No. I'm getting what I want. I'm doing what the fuck I want. And no, you can't tell me no, because I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, because I can tell you what to do. So if I got mind control powers, I'm probably working for the wrong side, most likely.
And she definitely had a pretty interesting moment, too, where she saves Andre on the stairs.
Oh, my gosh. She could, possess...
She literally was, making the
body.
She literally, made the cops, do, a bunch of stuff on the stairs to make so they wouldn't
unholy,
get some unholy
unreal,
stuff. Stuff I won't repeat.
Stuff you will not get into heaven doing.
And it's really just funny. The boys in GenV now get away with so much stuff because of what they're on Amazon and all that. There are some unbelievable moments in these shows where you're like, you just can't believe they put that on TV. And they talk about it there's social media people. That's what I'm saying. There's some crazy shit, man. And Yeah, I don't know. Do you have a favorite character so far?
Favorite character. I've been going back and forth, but I mean, I don't know much about Sam, but episode 3 definitely opened up a lot about Sam. I love Sam. I love Sam's character. I know he's gonna be huge. But I need people to stop being mean to Emma, man. I'm not messing with that. Y'all kicking a dying horse basically. Like you could already tell that like she's like real like shut out, really has no response to the things that's being said about her.
Right.
And then the freshman comes in to try to make a name for herself because she only has like 10,000 subscribers. Emma has like 300,000 or something like that. And she uses her name, to expose her secret that she has to puke to turn little to be the size she is, and then like her mom saying like how the calorie intake affects her and whatnot.
I mean, finding out her mom is the reason that she does that.
Yeah, her mom is like so into it because her mom sold her out. Now like that's how she got her money. Like you know what I'm saying, that's how you got your money. I literally sold my daughter out, and now she got this power that she has to purge herself to turn small and whatnot. It's sad that the freshman, I don't even know her name, but she literally exposed it.
But you know, what I really like about GenV too is it shows you that family that family pressure, the familial pressure,
man, right?
Where these kids go through this with all that. Like, see, we got Emma's mom forcing her to eat right and all that because she doesn't want her to get too big or too small. Jordan Lee was born as a boy, but could go between boy and girl.
I liked. Oh my god,
and
Jordan's
to me,
character.
I was gonna say Jordan's character to me right now is the best one. That's probably my favorite character.
That's how I'm going back and forth. Like
I like their dynamic because she was born a boy, or he was born a boy, or they were, and but they could gender swap back and forth whenever.
Of course, that's the power that he gets, and his dad hates it. And it's perfect. It's a perfect dynamic because
your dad sells you out and makes you, and puts the compound V in you, and then he gets the power that he hates the most. You know
and he's literally like they're at the party and like everything's kind of like inaudible and like it's like ringing and whatnot. And he's just sitting there and he listens to his parents talk and he grabs the glass. But grabbing the glass, he turns it to the girl. And the lady that's talking to his parents, like, she don't care. It didn't bother her at all. But her dad immediately turned off.
Jordan's mom doesn't care. Jordan's mom's like, no, I love you regardless. But the dad, no, you're my firstborn son. It was the happiest day of my life. Like, you're a boy. Be a boy. Yeah. And that was like a really big one. I like that. You know, you got even the pressure from who was the other parents in there? I'm forgetting. I'm blanking right now. Oh, Polarity. Yeah. His to me is even more important because
scary even.
Polarity's dad was, from what I'm guessing, is that he tried to get into the 7 and was denied. So now he's trying to make sure his son gets into the 7. But I don't think that Andre wants to be a part of the 7. I don't think that's like his end game. You know what I'm saying? Like he's doing it because his dad wants to, and like that's where the thing was like, your parents, they failed at what they wanted to do at some point, so they want to live through you. And, that's not a detriment to his dad or anything like that. You want the best for your kid, but if your kid's showing that he clearly doesn't want that for himself, you can't force that onto him. You're basically, you're not giving him the choice to live his life the way he wants to, and that's kind of, messed up.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on with the show, but theories, like I said, I have a really, really strong feeling that Kate is not good, and she is using mind control when she needs to use it, and that she is playing a fake character right now where like she's just around them, and Golden Boy was very, very aware of what she was doing. Very, very aware of what she was doing. And that's why he has a hard time dealing with the fact that Sam was down there, because she probably got Sam down there. He has a hard time.
She was the one that put him to sleep in the flashback.
Exactly. So she clearly has control over Sam, and she's clearly had control over Golden Boy as well.
I do think I do think that there's kind of going to be a thing where this show is going to make you like these characters. One of these characters is going to make it to the 7, and then you're going to have to watch them fight the boys. And that's kind of like my theory right now, where it's like, no, this show's going to build up. It's going to be Marie or Polarity or whatever. But
they're trying to make it sound like it's going to be Marie, but Marie is not going to be the one.
I don't see it.
And I think it's going to be Jordan. I think Jordan's going to end up.
But then I just see it going into, because she's going to play right into the boys season 4, where the boys don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? They're going to go against you if you're a hero, unless you prove that you're not bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I could end up seeing the thing where like now it's going to be, you like this character so much from Gen V, but now do you root for him in the boys?
Yeah. How do you who you think is going to be though? Who's going to make it into the 7? I got Jordan.
I think it's probably going to be Polarity. I do think he's going to end up there.
Oh my God, imagine.
I think
he's immediately going to go be with the boys though. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I do think it's going to end up being Polarity. No matter what. I think Marie's too on the nose. I think that's kind of the point where I think she'll end up deciding that it's not worth it. Yeah. Because that's her whole thing right now, is that she wants to be in the 7. Yeah. She wants to be the first black woman to ever be in the 7. And so I think that it's going to end up playing back on her. She's not going to be the one that makes it.
So do you think Kate's the mind control girl, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think she made Golden Boy kill himself?
It's interesting.
That's the thing. I feel like she sent
Because it was
Golden
so
Boy,
out of
like, all right,
character
like,
that he
if
caught something.
out
Like
of nowhere, like,
and
really
like
out of
I
nowhere.
think he went to her
And then she touched him
and
was like,
she's
hey, listen.
involved with it.
Yeah,
so
because
she
she
touched
told
him
the
and
one
said,
guy,
"You
yes,
should go blow
she touches
yourself
people and
up."
tells them what to do.
Yeah, it's all-
and it
that's how
happens as it goes. Like the one guy, I want you
Or
to go
she
get
knew
the
all
baseball
along,
bat.
and she touched him, and she said, "I want you to do this." Because look what she was able to do. That guy just keep hitting himself with a bat.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what I was saying,
crotch.
like stuff like that.
Like I just feel like that she's
And it makes sense too, because
she's manipulative. I don't think she's truly evil, but she's all about what she wants, where she wants to
herself.
get
She's
to.
getting, or maybe she's even getting rid of the competition, even because
Yeah, maybe.
Golden Boy, like he snapped out of it when he had Polarity. So it seems like Polarity is very, very strong and clearly has like this emotional, physical, and just in tap with all the people around him. Like he just understands how to talk to people. So when he hugged Golden Boy, and I'm like, man, that was like pretty powerful that he like shut him down.
He was
and, like,
able to
made
calm
sure
him
calm
down.
him down. Like
Yeah.
and then
Besides
Boy-
Jordan's like
I was so scared.
gender, which I think the analogy with Jordan's gender stuff is so current today.
yeah,
I think it's like being
That's why she's one of
accepted
my
and
favorite
pronouns
characters.
and all that
she's
stuff.
easily my favorite character right now.
What's her? I'm kind of confused what her power. Besides the
Well,
gender
it doesn't-
switches.
She
Is
can
it just,
fight.
like,
So
strength?
when she was fighting Golden Boy, so when I was like, I watched a video about this after, like it was like summing it up. And I guess Compound V, no matter what, outside of the main power it gives you, does give you enhanced speed, enhanced strength. Enhanced
Yeah,
all
when she
that.
was getting hit and stuff, she was breaking.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
everything
So, and
around her.
it
Yeah.
kind of seemed there was like an energy field around her too. Like I don't know if it was like the lighting or if it was just like a special effect thing they were doing. But when she was like punching him, like it looked like there was like almost like UV.
Oh, I know
light
what
and
you're
shit
talking about.
that.
When like he swung on her and she like went down and like
Yeah,
hit him,
it's
and like
like-
it was like she was faster than him because he actually has a power, but
Yeah,
she
so
has
it was just weird,
enhanced-
like the way that
enhanced
it looked. Like I don't know if it was like just like a visual choice or whatever.
She
but
punched his.
but
There's no way I remember that.
no, yeah, but I think that's just really what it is because you see that with even like some of the other heroes. Like A Train has super speed, that's his main power, but he was also able to punch through a wall and stuff like that. So he's there. The Compound V does more than just give you. It gives you your main power, and then it gives you whatever else comes with that.
Yep. So that wraps up everything for GenV. I said really good
We
first
do
two
always do
episodes.
like weekly.
Yeah,
updates
we'll,
on
we'll
that,
keep
too.
you guys up to date with stuff like that. Damon didn't watch, so I don't want to get too deep into
Yeah, I don't want
it.
to like spoil anything.
Kind of did spoil a good amount of it, but I feel like it really is a really good.
Patrick Schwarzenegger, we hardly knew you. I guess he will not be back. Sorry, I had to use a dad joke there.
So last but not least, with Loki season 2 premiering, we want to do an MCU TV show draft. So what this means is literally just Disney Plus. I don't want to go into the Netflix stuff. I want to go into the the lower stuff where that was on like CW, I think, Fox, whatever, like the Agents of Shield stuff like that. So strictly,
Make sure we write down our characters too, so that nobody's double picking.
yeah, I got mine written. I'm gonna click check off which I don't pick.
Damn.
But hey, you want a short?
that?
You too
He got
short.
more anger than a Hulk.
You too
Let's
short.
go.
You too short. My bad. But so what this is, we're gonna do a random wheel. This wheel is gonna generate the first person who picks, and we're gonna go in snake order, obviously. So if Damon picks first, Damian second, me third, I'll go third and fourth, and back to Damian's fifth, Damon sixth, whatever, and so forth. So
And it's 5 players.
we're gonna do starting 5. They can appear even for a second, whether it's a flashback, whether it's a post-credit scene, whether it's no mention. Like it has to actually be physically in the show, casted, and whatnot. So we want to be very specific. We want to say the exact character that's in there. So not to spoil anything for you guys, but there were several variants of Wanda. Several variants of Thanos. Stuff like that from What If, from whatever the case may be. So with that being said, you want to spin the wheel, Damien.
Damon with the first overall.
Let's go, man.
God, bro.
Let's go. Let's go, man. All right, so you brought up the flashbacks and stuff. So, like, I was going to slide and not take him early, but, like, I can't risk out having him. So, I'm going to go my first pick. One of y'all going to take him, but I need him.
I'm cooked. I'm done. I lost.
You know what? I'm going to go. This might be a sleeper. It might not be a sleeper. I'm going to go Winter Soldier. Flashback scene.
Ah,
Oh,
that's
that's a
good.
good one.
That's
I'm
actually
going
really
him.
good. That's
I'm
actually
going
really
him.
good. I didn't think
I was
about
going
him.
to slide. I was going to
didn't think
slide
about
him, but
at
I'm
all.
like, I can't
He not on
risk
my
it.
board because of what I really know he can turn into. Like he start off good. That second half of his career though.
Yeah,
you know
that
what I'm saying?
flashback
So
scene
I don't
from
wanna,
the
you know what I'm saying?
palace. Oh my, he was going crazy.
Bro, that was one of my favorites.
I'm gonna go him. That's my number.
George, you
one.
got the second overall pick.
Ooh, second overall. All right, so I want a powerhouse, man, and and Damien. Listen, man. I'm gonna leave somebody on the board for you because I know you're gonna take him, and you got back to back. I know you're gonna take him. But you know, I gotta do it. I gotta give me a power. I gotta go zombie Thanos. I got to.
Ooh.
I have to.
It's a good one.
I have to. But I know who you going. I'm not gonna say it, but go ahead.
No, all right, I'm going Supreme Doctor. I'm going Doctor Strange.
I left him there for you.
I'm going Strange Supreme.
I ain't gonna do it because he
Strange
won't be here
Supreme,
next week.
man.
So.
Because Strange Supreme out of What If.
I need to write him down. That's how I'm.
Is actually such a crazy character. Probably one of my favorite ones from the show. So I gotta go Strange Supreme. Play two guard.
All right, and you got back to back. So who you pairing up with him?
All right, when I'm getting my power forward to the future, I'm getting Infinite Ultron.
Oh my god! You see, I was gonna go
crazy.
Infinite Ultron. See, the thing about Infinite Ultron for me was the man lost to a team low key that was led by Killmonger. So like the way I'm looking at it, like I went mad with Killmonger.
Yeah, but he also had like
really that
he also
strong?
had they had the oh my god, the green dude from Winter Soldier. He was the scientist. He was a German scientist.
Oh my god.
Is it? It's not. I keep trying to.
It's not Zemo. It's
I keep making me think I'm saying Zemo.
He was
I can't even think of his
he was a
name.
Nazi, right?
Yeah, he was the one that like told Captain America all about Shield being infiltrated by Hydra during Winter Soldier.
I'll get his name. Right?
Yeah, I
But
can't
he
think of it
was
right now.
he was
He
a
was
fact.
one that
He was
helped
the
them
reason
play-
that
yeah.
was possible. So you got your back to back picks. I'm up on the clock. I was deciding between two people here. Now I'm gonna tell you who I was deciding between. I don't know if y'all looking at him. U.S. agent best friend. He's on my board. He died. He a noble man. Died on the shield. Literally. You got. I feel like you got the strongest guy, Damien. We didn't really see what Zombie Thanos can do. We gotta like really predict. I might go all zombie. Give me zombie Wanda. Oh my, give me
that's a tough
zombie
one.
Wanda.
You're going all
Stop playing
power.
with me. I'm going
Yeah.
straight. I want brute force.
Zombie Thanos had all the stones except for what? I think he was just missing the Mind Stone, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, Zombie Thanos got to be strong automatically.
You feel me though?
All right, Damon.
All right, so y'all going off power. I need somebody to break it up. So I'm gonna go Zemo. I need somebody.
And you got somebody that could control your. Ooh, you feel me?
Zemo the team.
Because
leader,
Zemo
for
can
sure.
control Winter Soldier. That's a.
You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know.
Hold on. Let me go to my
Zemo's
list
on my
real
board
quick.
though. Zemo's on my board.
Let me go to my list real quick. Damn, right. I would have went Megan Thee Stallion for girl power, but I'm gonna go Peggy, Captain America version.
Ah,
Captain
that's
Britain,
not
that's a
bad.
good one.
She had a couple good moments. I ain't
Well,
gonna lie.
Peggy
Wasn't on my
America.
board, but I think I was overlooking her because she went to a small school. She went to school
Peggy
like the
America.
30s. So I don't want
Peggy America. Let's go.
Peggy America. So it's me. I like this. I like this middle because I really could like cut y'all off kind of thing. And for me, we didn't see his full capability. He got a show coming out. And you know where I'm going with this. I gotta go Matt Murdock, Daredevil. Come on now. Like, y'all talk about the brute force, then we got, you know what I'm saying, the finesse.
Yeah,
We really support blind people. You know what I'm saying? We really got all the, we got everything going for us right now. We got the dead people and the blind people. So, like, realistically, I'm fucking with it. I'm fucking with my team right now. Damien with the back-to-back. You might hurt my team. I ain't gonna lie. You might hurt my team.
This is tough.
My
All right,
5th round pick
so
would be crazy.
to run my
You know,
team,
thinking
I
about
guess
it.
to play the 3. I guess I'm gonna go U.S. agent.
Oh my
John
God.
Walker.
Good defensive player though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I need that lockdown on my team.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm gonna throw a curveball at Chuck. So it's between my point guard or my center. I think I'm taking the center here. I'm going with Man Thing from Werewolf by Night.
That was, what's crazy? I looked into it and I'm like, I didn't watch it, so I can't really take nobody from there. I don't know.
Yeah, he could control your thoughts. He can get your mind and stuff. So you know what I'm saying.
Strong. That's a
Man
strong
Thing.
pick though. That's a strong.
I think you gotta just go with that. Supernatural character.
See, my boy here, you know what I'm saying? My boy Damon. You let me to the water, so I'm gonna drink it. The girl power. I was up between 3 different women. So Agatha Harkness is one of them. I can't go there. You know what I'm saying? Her and Wanda gonna beef a lot. I really can't have that. Megan Thee Stallion was on my board. She was for science purposes, not for nothing else. But here I'm gonna go with a woman that you know what I'm saying. She ruthless, and I can't wait to see her tonight. I gotta go with Sylvie, man. Sylvie, finesse. She got the speed. She got the manipulation. So I'm gonna go with Sylvie there, man. The mom with the back-to-back.
All right.
And you don't support women yet, so like clearly you gotta get on that.
My next pick, right? I brought it up yesterday in the Discord. I'm going White Vision.
Bro, just took my last pick.
White Vision, man.
Took
I'm
my
going
last
White
pick.
Vision.
It's a good pick.
You okay? You okay?
I forgot to spell vision. Hold on. Let me.
You right? Nah, you spelled it wrong. Wait, no.
See, now you messing me up, bro.
Vision.
Vision.
Yeah, that's what I thought, right?
Yeah.
It's not Vison. That's Vison.
That's Vison.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, you were right. VIS. Yeah, I'm bringing this up in the Discord.
And then my last pick.
You gotta be strong with this one, cause I'm coming in hot.
Bro, y'all took all the ones I really wanted. I'm gonna go with He Who Remains.
I figured you would.
I'm gonna go him at last pick. Just off a potential factor, you know.
Yeah, we know what he could become. We don't know, but we know.
Yeah.
Now this might be the quickest pick in MCTVU draft history ever because this person appeared in the post credit scene. Now I'm surprised none of y'all took them because she is one of the most powerful heroes in our universe. Captain Marvel is coming to my team based off the fact that I support women. Y'all don't, so that starts there. And second of all, who beat my team? We got all the finesse, got all the power. Come on now, and we support all faces. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Can she have a solo movie though?
Can she have a solo
about it.
movie? I prefer her not to.
Exactly.
That's not her role on this team. She's more of a two guard, more of a stay in my lane kind of person. That's just me.
What's her trade
Damien's
value?
I'm trying to find the name of who it is.
My team go crazy though. I ain't gonna lie. Sylvie definitely at the point.
All right, so I'm definitely gonna run. So for my point guard of the team, I'm going Thanos Armor Gamora. From What If, she's basically just Thanos but Gamora. So the Thamora.
The more.
And that's gonna be my one. I guess it was between her and Sharon Carter. I gotta put a girl in there.
Yeah.
Sharon Carter, she kind of made me mad. So
She can handle the ball. I really don't think she can score like
I forgot
that.
she was in Hawkeye. So oh my god.
Who, Valentina?
Yeah.
You sold.
I saw it.
I was gonna, but then y'all start leaving people like Sylvia on the board, Captain Marvel board.
I saw it.
For undrafted purpose, I mean, I was really gonna. I was so close to taking Kate Bishop. I was this close.
Yeah.
And I was like, Sylvie. It seems like she been everywhere. She knows what she knows.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely got the more capabilities. I know Damon said he was gonna take Echo, but he got her off.
I was gonna go Jimmy Woo or Hawk.
I should have went
Jimmy
Daredevil.
Woo
I should have
would've
went
been
Daredevil and Echo. Then we, you know what I'm saying?
Jimmy would have been crazy.
I would've
Nobody
been-
took Kingpin. Like
Kingpin was
I-
on my
he was on
board,
my
but y'all was
list.
letting
He was
zombie.
on
Y'all
my
said
list.
zombie Thanos.
You went the
know what
first
I'm saying?
pick.
on my
Or no,
list.
you
Second
second
pick. He should have took
He
zombie.
should
on my
have
list.
took Zombie Thanos.
He was on my list. Nah,
You know,
like, I
oh
ain't
my
wanna
God,
let
we
him
got
You
lots
slide.
of-
want to take one arm, one leg missing T'Challa?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but y'all ain't think about Spider-Man in the What If episode.
Yeah, in the zombie episode.
Yeah, I was, y'all wasn't thinking about that zombie episode. It had a lot of characters in it, so I was like, all right, let me just take advantage of that.
See, I went off smarts
Should've
though.
took Happy
I
Hogan.
needed people. I need people with smarts. You know what I mean? That's what I got.
You didn't take the Watcher though. You didn't take the Watcher.
I mean, Strange Supreme literally putting y'all in a bubble, so it don't matter.
That is true. Strange Supreme got us all. You know what I'm saying? Kamala Khan. Oh, nobody. I mean, she on my board, but like
Kamal would have been a good.
She young,
She a good
inexperienced.
6 man.
Yeah, young and inexperienced. This about. So for my team, it would be like Sylvie at the 1, Captain Marvel at the 2. You know, all women backcourt. WNBA, my favorite league. Daredevil at the 3. Zombie Wanda at the 4 because she got vert. And then Zombie Thanos because he a post scorer. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of
Post scoring
scorers.
take from 2K19.
I'm running a 2-2 zone because Zemo can't be on the field for real. So he gotta be in the background. I need White Vision up front. I need Winter Soldier. You know, that 1 year, 2 years of his prime, like that was very prominent. And then, oh my God, with Peggy and he remains in the back. Woo! Yo, I just need Zemo. Zemo got to cook. That's really
Yeah, he
gonna
got
make
the
or break my team.
he the IQ guy
Yeah, he the IQ guy. He gonna break y'all teams up. You know what I mean? Mentally.
on that Draymond shit.
I think I'm running Thamora.
The more at the 1.
Thamora at the 1. You know, she got
Strong
the
ass
armor on.
Or Kyle
She
Lowry.
pound dribbling down the court. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna run Strange Supreme with the 2. That's my Michael Jordan. U.S. Agent at the 3 because he a lockdown. I don't know. That's like my. I don't know, man. I can't even tell you a name right now.
That's like
That's like my dork.
That's like my yeah.
And then I got Infinite Ultron at the 4. That's Tim Duncan right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a legend. And then I got Man Thing at the 5. That's like a Boban Marjanovic, but
He there though.
you know what I'm saying?
Like
He
that.
big, like you know,
I
he
fuck with
could clog up the paint. So
So that concludes this episode for you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. But before we go, Damon, you got to close us out.
I got y'all, man.
Only way you know how.
So look, I was gonna say to anybody out there who's thinking about quitting, rather it be their job, they struggling financially, to provide for their child or provide for their family, or they have a passion that they want to do and they think about quitting. Do not give up. It take one day. It take one step for you to blossom into something you want to be. Especially, in 2023, there's so many opportunities out there that, you could push and thrive for. So, you got people counting on you. Don't give up. I know it's hard mentally to stay strong every day, especially if you got kids or especially if you got people depending on you, but do not give up. These people need you. You're like a superhero to them. Do not give up. Stay strong and keep fighting and keep pushing.
Never back down, never what?
Never back down, never what?
Never give up.
Yeah, man. Damon didn't give up after going 0 for 9, y'all. So don't ever give up for anything.
Nah, I almost did. I was this close.
You were that close? Yeah, I was that close too.
I was hovering over my Xbox button.
Hit it with the elbow. Yeah, the ground and pound at that point. But, thank you guys again once for joining us. Later tonight will be the live reaction. We'll be recording that. Hope you guys enjoy low key as much as we will. We will see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much.
Have a good one.
Never back down. Never what?
Never give up.
Give up.
Never give up.